Greetings guys, I hope you're good. Man, I am here to speak about a little trip that I took, a couple of weeks ago, and it was Japan, a country that I've always wanted to go. And I'm here to obviously share my thoughts and let you guys know if Japan will be the country for you. Now, I'm a black person and I'm saying that for many reasons, because there's a lot of people out there that are my, background that are a bit skeptical on going to countries like Japan. And I'm here to obviously reassure you guys and let you know that everything's fine. So I'm going to say in the best way as possible with everything that I experience. I'll throw up some pictures and stuff as well in the video, and we're going to go from there. So I hope you guys do enjoy this, because this is really important, not only for people that are my background, but for people that are going to Japan, because there's a lot of people that are intending to go in Japan. Apparently, according to statistics, it's really high at the moment with the amount of people that are going to Japan, and it's for a reason. So yeah. Right, first off, we're going to start off as heading to Japan as a black person. Now, as I said, I'm specifically stating this because we all know that black people, when they go certain places, it's going to be a lot different from others. Now, I'm not saying that there's going to be automatically some racism there or anything like that. We just got to be more aware of, where we're going, because unfortunately and fortunately, we are viewed that way. And the reason why I'm saying unfortunately is because, people don't really know us, if that makes sense. And the reason why I say fortunately is because it's an opportunity for people to know us. So for example, I've had some family members before that have traveled to China, and they were getting photos taken of them, is because they're not being seen before. So that's one of the reasons. Now, me as a black person going to Japan, I'll be open and honest with you, I didn't have much worries. I didn't have much worries at all. I did a bit of research before I went. I knew that the country was brilliant, but I must say my experience was amazing. Let me just get that out first and foremost for you guys that will eventually watch this video. So if you are a black person, there's definitely no reasons for it. And this video is not just about being a black person going to Japan. It's not at all. I'm just saying this for, black people that are thinking about going to Japan. In my opinion, there was nothing to worry about. In terms of people approaching you, they were pretty cool. Not everyone approaches you though. I think that's one of the main things in Japan, but Japan's known for people to not approach others. Even on statistics, the country itself is classified as kind of like a lonely country because there's not much interaction. So me going there, I kind of felt the same thing. I understood where people were coming from in terms of that. And yeah, I would say. And in terms of the negatives, I cannot think of anything negative. I'm being honest with you, and I'm being deadly serious. I was in Japan for 10 days. I traveled everywhere. I went to Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto. I literally went everywhere, and I didn't experience anything negative. There's multiple times I left my bag in different places, not on purpose, but there was accidents, when you get on your bike and stuff, I accidentally just like to have the little thing that you can put your stuff in, your groceries and whatnot in there. And I've left stuff in there on purpose. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? Let me see how much I do trust this country. And what was in there? My stuff was in there. So that experience there was amazing. And it felt a lot different to where I'm from. I am from the UK, and it was a massive difference. But we're definitely getting to that. Right, I know everybody's going to be big on this section, which I was a massive fan of, which was the food itself. Now, I'm a foodie. I do really love food. I think it's one of the main reasons why I went to Japan, to kind of like experience their Asia culture. Just overall, I love Chinese food. I love any type of Asian food. Like, it's my thing. And I must say, and I'm going to say with honesty, that Japan has been the best in terms of food. And what I mean by that is, out of all the countries I've been, guys, you can name it, I've been all over the place. America, Spain, France, Greece, Portugal, Malta. Oh my gosh, the list goes on. And I'm telling you this now, that Japan was 10 out of 10 for me. And the main reasons why is because let's start off with the price itself. Now, I've seen a lot of videos, people talk about Japan's expensive. Everybody's going to have their own perspective. And in my opinion, I don't believe Japan's expensive in terms of food wise at all. There's times where I'm paying for meals and it's inexpensive. And I'm just like, I don't understand how people are saying it's expensive unless you are being a person that's continuously buying expensive food like the Wagyu, stuff like that. Then it's going to make it expensive. I'm quite easy with my food. There's time to time so that I will have, you know, like steak and whatnot, but it's not every day I have it. So one of the main reasons why I'm mentioning this is because I want you to experience it for yourself without, you know, listening to people all the time. Because I've seen so many things, which I will get to at the end of the video, that people have been speaking about, that you need this, you need that, you need this, you need that. And I sat down there and I thought, you know what, I'm going to have to end up spending a lot in Japan, which I spent a decent amount. So this is what I'm saying. My decent amount might be different to yours, but I spent a good amount to enjoy myself. So it all comes down to what you actually spend it on. And in my opinion, I feel like the food was perfect. Depends what you get as well. I'm a rice lover. I really do love rice. The rice was the best. And really, really good prices. Let me just elaborate a little bit more with regards to like the food side of things before I actually move on to a different section. There's a lot of convenience stores such as like 7-Eleven. You know, you got Lawson, the stores that I've never even been in. Even when I went to America, the stores that I've just never been in. And they were amazing. They've got their own kind of styles of foods. You know, they've got their vitamin waters and they've got the things in their own way. And you're just like, man, this is amazing. Because I know half of the stuff that I'm purchasing, you know, if it was back home, it would be very expensive. And there's times where I'm coming out with pouches, vitamin pouches to be precise. And they're like £1, £2 in English money. You know, it's really convenient out there. And I'm telling you, I must say that these are requirements because Japan's massive. You know, there's going to be a lot of walking going on for sure. I can't tell you the amount of steps that I've took alongside with the people that I went with. You know, we managed to walk everywhere, but it was rewarding. You know, you're getting your exercise in and whatnot. It's pretty cool. I must say as well, like the portion sizes as well. You know, I've been many convenience stores down there and they're pretty small. And I kind of like investigated it and I wanted to understand why the portions are pretty much small. And I did do a bit of research and it's according to a lot of waste happening in Japan, which is totally understandable. So in comparison to the UK in terms of the prices, man, I wouldn't say there's a significant difference, but it depends on specific things. When it comes to like meals and stuff like that, you're getting your money's worth. Because I'll give you an example. If you buy Wagyu over there, which is inherited in Japan, you know, it's going to be pretty much cheaper. Whereas you buy it in the UK where they're extracting it from somewhere else, it's a lot more expensive. So I think it depends what you actually buy. But I must say that when it comes to food alone, because I've been telling my partner, because she's a big foodie, that we are going back to Japan. And that will be the main reason why we're going back. Now, this is going to be a next big thing because this one gets spoken about a lot. And this is their culture itself. Because I feel like their culture's really interesting, especially coming from somebody that has come from the UK. You know, I know many people probably understand what I'm saying. So we're going to start off with how polite the people were. I believe that they are fantastic people. I'm not a reserved person. You can probably tell, like me doing content creating and whatnot. I'm not a reserved person. Like I like to speak. I like to speak to people and whatnot. But that's obviously the downside to Japan. I'm not saying downside as in like it's something bad. I mean like they're not open to obviously speak to others. And I think mainly it's because they don't speak English. Like there's really like a small percentage that speak English, and that's not their fault. You know, it's really hard for tourists to obviously come to their country and expect people to obviously speak their language, which is not possible. I feel like if you are a person that has fell in love with Japan, like people like myself, I'd recommend kind of like learning a couple of words and whatnot, because there was times where I was using the translator on my phone and stuff like that. You know, it helped a lot, trust me. But they are really polite, definitely. As I said, the translator helped a lot. They were more interactive, but once you start speaking English, they kind of get thrown off, you know, get into their little hole. But the cleanliness, like, fantastic. Their streets are just, from what you guys see actually in Japan, it's definitely real. The streets are just pretty much clean at all times, and if they're not clean, it's because people are just, it's more or less tourists. I have to say, you know, if you don't see their streets clean, it's because tourists are obviously doing something that they shouldn't be doing, because in their culture they don't really do that. So not to say I'm blaming the tourists, but I'll be shocked if you see Japanese people littering their own their country, because they're disciplined to not do that. Noise levels, pretty much cool. We stayed in a place where it was away from kind of like the nightlife and whatnot. You know, we was in the quiet side of Tokyo, so that's another thing to obviously consider. If you don't like noise, there's plenty of places where you can go that will cancel out all of that. Tipping, I tried to tip many times. I didn't know prior to going that this is not allowed. Well, it's not necessarily not allowed, it's just a lot of people just do not accept it. It's not illegal, hence why I did continuously ask. And there's like a small percentage that accepted tips, but there's a lot of them that do not accept tips at all. And I'm not against that at all. It's their culture. I'm a sort of person, I feel like if they're doing a pretty good job and I can help them in any sort of way, I'm going to give out a tip. Why not? But yeah, there's a lot of rejecting. You know, a lot of them do not enjoy tipping at all. So yeah. Another thing I'd add to that is how busy Tokyo can be for itself. Obviously, I didn't go all the cities in Japan. I wish I could. But obviously, I was mainly in the area of Tokyo. And I think it depends which city you actually go. I don't even think they're called cities. I just call them cities. But you guys know what I mean by that. So, for example, Shibuya, you know, all the places that you can actually go. There's so much to mention. I went Ginza, like these places I actually knew when I got there. I didn't know prior, which is insane. And these places are just, there's so many people in them. Like Shibuya was one of the main places I've seen a lot of people. People talk about a lot of people being there, definitely. At nighttime, man, it's like the city don't sleep. And to me, I'm a nighttime person, so I kind of like the scenery of it. That was actually my first place to go in Japan when I landed. I rested on the first day. The second day, I said, you know what? I need to take a trip there. I don't want to wait all the way towards, you know, my ending stay and contemplate about going to Shibuya, because I obviously seen it a lot on people's videos and whatnot. And I said, I need to go here because I know this is the place. And I'm telling you this now. When I went there, it was amazing. I was speechless. I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So many things to do. Shopping. That's another thing I would say. If you really want to have a good time, have a bit of money, but we'll get to that at some point, because you don't need extraordinary money how people go on. You don't need to be having £4,000-5,000 in your account to actually blow on Japan. That's nonsense. You don't need to do that. If you want to do that, that's fine. But I don't feel like you need to be telling people that they need that in order to enjoy Japan. So yeah, so all these cities are just full of people. You will enjoy if you want to be around good people, good vibes, you know, good weather forecast at times, majority of the times, and good places, good food, good gaming spots. I would recommend going most of these places, 100%. Right, just to give you a bit of an insight of the couple of things that I actually did in Japan. They were, to be honest, overwhelming. There was quite a lot of things that you can do. It's not like normal countries where you see excursion, leaflets on the side and whatnot. You kind of have to go online and really see what's around, and there's a lot around. For example, you can get a free bus to Disneyland, which I didn't do it, and the main reason why I didn't do it was because the waiting times, and as you grow, you kind of come out of that stuff. If I went with my family, definitely I would have went. That's why I'm planning to bring my partner and my kids to Japan. Now they're definitely on it now because I've told them about it. They've seen some photos and whatnot. So yeah. So in terms of Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, bit of a mixture. We did a bit of nightlife just to see how it is. Fantastic. We got a lot of massages out of the way. We went to some temples in Kyoto as well. We did the go-karting as well. It was amazing, man. We seen Fuji as well. We went on the bullet trains. We kind of experienced everything in one. I'm quite lost for words right now. It was a lot of walking mainly just to see sightseeing and whatnot. I was about that. And I've got a thing for like back streets. I took a lot of photos of back streets, especially at nighttime. I just love it because you see people eating at nighttime, having a vibe. That's my thing. I know a couple of you guys are probably see where I'm coming from with this. It was just amazing, man. I can't think of everything off the top of my head, but you can kind of see an insight on what we actually got up to. I'm trying to think what else we did. We did a lot of bike riding. We got a lot of people to play some basketball. It was, oh my gosh, we did a ninja experience as well, which was pretty awesome. We did samurai experience as well. Oh my gosh, there was just so much. It was amazing. We went to some festivals. Like, this is what I'm saying, guys. Like, you will never run out of options in Japan. Like, I will go through the whole thing. The vlog will be out soon, definitely, to show you guys what I actually did in Japan. But these are the things that you can obviously get up to, and there's so much more. Guys, I can go on forever. I don't want to bore you. I just want you to know all the main important things before heading to Japan. If you ask me, shall I go Japan? It's a no-brainer. 110%. It don't matter what color you are, what ethnicity you are. You're sitting down there thinking, should I go? You need to go. I know a lot of people tend to mention about the price. It depends. If it's family, it is going to be expensive. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not, especially during peak times. If you go around July, August, which I went around July, I went end of July. I literally spent my birthday in there, which was probably one of the best birthday presents I've ever given to in fact, it is, best birthday present I've ever given to myself. And just be mindful. And as I said, I was going to come back to what I was going to say regards to money. It depends how you want to spend. It depends if you're extravagant. If you are an extravagant person, then you're going to need money, plain and simple, because Japan, you'll get lost in Japan. I did a couple of things good. I did a couple of things that I wouldn't say bad, but I know for next time. It's my first experience. Like, one thing I do regret not making sure that my suitcase was completely empty, because I came back with so many things, like not expensive things, but things that were just convenient. You know what I mean? Like, I needed that. This is worth it. Stuff like that. But in all honesty, you can go to Japan with about 1,300, 400 and be fine with that. I promise you that. I went for 10 days and I think I spent around about that much. Probably a little bit more actually, but it weren't far off. I could have saved a lot more because I'm not extravagant. This is the thing. So just know what you're gonna need there. But yeah, I'll explain more in the vlog with regards to other things as well, because there's a lot of other things that people said that you need and you don't need. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you go to Japan soon.